And she never said a word.
Mm-hmm.
She's learned to just let him do it. Wasn't that way with us.
Mm-hmm.
Now Bill would go ahead and choose what he wanted
Mm-hmm.
and what he thought I would enjoy and could use, take it home, set it up, show me how to use it. I never complained what he did for me that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he didn't show me how to work it.
Mm-hmm.
So we got along very, very well, really. Bill did a lot of heavy drinking, you know, from the military, more drinking, and I would be unhappy with him,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when I thought he had overdone.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another story.
Mm-hmm.
So to Tachikawa, I enjoyed Tachikawa. The shopping was nice. The people were nice. I had 3 maids and two maids and a cook.
Mm-hmm.
One kept the house, one kept the bathrooms, and one cooked.
What'd you do for
Did the
exercise?
dishes.
What?
I ran my mouth. I don't think we even had any grass there. I don't think we even had any flowers
Wow.
in that group. They had a wonderful BX.
Uh-huh.
Took care of babies, probably.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't interested in that. I had 2 of my own that kept me busy.
Well, that's what I mean. That's
yeah.
what kept you busy for exercise.
You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
But no, one of my I had 3 three women servants, and the one that kept the babies, her name was Somiko.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry, Numiko. No, Miku.
Oh.
Nomiku.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Nobuko.
Nomiko?
Nobiko.
Nobuko.
Nobiko.
And and Tomoko was the cook, and what am I leaving out? The house cleaner. Nobuko, Tomiko, Samiko, Tomoko. Oh, well, anyway, I had 3 maids. So anyway, from Tachikawa, we came back to Novato, California, stationed at Hamilton Air Force Base, and Bill was stationed as the Presidio, at the Presidio in San Francisco, and he always had to go across the bridge. What's the name?
Richmond Bridge or the Bay Bridge?
The Bay Bridge, morning and night.
Mm-hmm.
I even learned to drive in San Francisco.
Oh,
It was kind of a change coming from Japan. We drove on the left side of the road.
Oh, yeah. Is that paper obscuring her wonderful
Yeah,
face?
drop it down just a little bit.
Yeah,
it's a little
yes.
bit in front of your
You
face.
can.
There you go. That's
There
better.
you
Oh, keep me in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep you in focus
Appreciate-
here.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
Yep.
So Bill was stationed with the NORAD, West
Okay.
Coast
Mm-hmm.
Watch,
The military surveillance
something like that.
stuff, uh-huh. All right, they're still in business.
And
Yeah.
from Hamilton then, we went to Malmstrom Air Force Base in Great Falls, Montana.
Wow.
And I remember Bill had to go on and I had to drive. And I got going up that mountain and it scared me so bad going across that range. I get Rockies, is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept saying, now keep cool, Cooper. And press on. You've got these 2 little ones in the car. Press on. Which I did, and I made it.
Wow.
And at Hamilton, we had a nice group of people living in the housing there. They were all lots of good friends. And we had a lot of good times together. Did a lot of cooking and inviting and picture taking. And I still have a lot of those pictures around someplace. And from Great Falls at what, 100 degrees? No, Great Falls at 40 degrees.
Yeah.
in the winter.
Sounds about right.
That was in, well, I don't have a month. Huh. Anyway, it was pretty cold. But Bill was a wonderful person. He'd always show me around whatever was in that area was a tourist scene or interesting that everybody should see. He did that driving down Route 66 and going to Hoover Dam and the Architect, like I said. And then in McCord we had a lot of mountain. Where am I? I'm in Montana.
Montana.
How did you get involved in the diplomatic corps?
This was through Bill and his recommendations and his military line. That all came through Congress and through the military group, what do they call it? I should know. But Pentagon.
Joint Chiefs of Staff?
Well,
The diplomatic corps or something
he
like
was
that?
Joint Chiefs of Staff when we came back.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the diplomatic, well, the first one you said. So,
Mhm.
anyway, in Montana. And then we went to Karachi as
Karachi as in Pakistan.
Right.
Mhm.
And there we were diplomats for 3 years. And it was a wonderful experience. The people,
You're,
Oh, no, it's okay, yeah, we're fine.
the culture, the
mm-hmm.
dress, the food,
Mm-hmm.
the lots of manners. I loved the Pakistani people
Mm-hmm.
and had them in my home often.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I thoroughly enjoyed it there. And we had lots of embassy parties
Mm-hmm.
and lots of military groups. We were a big family.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody was always having a coffee or
Mhm.
a bridge game or we always had something going on.
Now, was there any kind of tension in that corner of the world at that time, or was
No, in
there
fact,
was no war or anything like that going on, or animosity, or?
flying through Lebanon on my way to Karachi,
Uh-huh.
I got the finger because I didn't tip enough
Oh.
to the
Uh,
luggage carrier.
oh, okay. I think they still do that.
In Bori Bazaar, I came back in 57 when England was doing something with the river, the canal, or
Oh,
the canal.
Suez Canal
Is that the one that's
in Egypt between
yeah, the
separates Egypt from Africa.
right.
Mhm.
England was doing something with it, taking something over,
Mhm.
and the local people objected. So,
Uh-huh.
so they were out protesting on the streets.
Uh-huh.
Well, I didn't know that, but I wanted to go down to the Benares Silk House. I
Uh-huh.
had some Americans coming in that wanted me to do some shopping for
Mhm.
them, ready when they got there.
Mhm.
So I got almost to the bazaar, and I ran into this crowd, and kind of scared me because I didn't know what to do because there's people all around. I couldn't turn around,
Mhm.
couldn't go forward.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
But some of the good Pakistanis came over and protected my car
Oh
and
wow.
helped me get turned around to go back to get out of it.
Nice.
And that was a scary time. And coming out of that, though, some man followed my car and kept trying to open one of the doors on the rider's side.
Wow.
Thank goodness they were locked,
Mhm.
and I got away.
Mhm. Jeez.
But that was the one experience that was rather scareful that I had
Mhm.
there. And I can't think of anything any worse.
Mhm.
But
So you guys were in Pakistan for 3 years.
3 years, did met all the, we even met Ali Khan.
Uh-huh.
Ali Khan is the one that
Filmmaker, right?
gets weighed once a year, and his weight is given to him in gold.
Oh
So he
really?
is huge.
Oh my goodness.
He's got an incentive to eat.
To eat.
Wow.
I wish they'd
Really?
do that for me.
And met all the embassy people coming from America there. I had to do more entertaining for people from the government or the Pentagon
Mhm.
or Congress or somebody
Mhm.
all the time.
Mhm.
And I usually had General Brown help. He was the military leader. His wife is Tilly,
Mhm.
and helped me with all the programs and what to serve and food and all that sort of thing.
Mhm.
Because we had beautiful places. Our yard was always kept with Christmas lights.
Mhm.
And because you always had your parties outside.
Mhm.
And you had cooks, and we always had chapatis and masala curry and,
Wow.
and chicken or lamb,
Uh-huh.
beef,
Uh-huh.
but never no pork.
Oh, that would be interesting, yeah. Taboo.
Never pork.
Mhm.
And the cow is sacred in Islam because they are the first food of life for the human being.
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
So we had a very interesting place there. I can't remember who Secretary of State. I entertained them all,
Mm-hmm.
or many of them,
How exciting.
in my little house with the terrazzo floors, but we didn't have the donkey at the time. If we had it, we'd had the chokidar to take him out and tie him up someplace.
Yeah.
The donkey did make it to school though. Chokidar left the gate open, and he worked his way following the children
Really?
to school.
Oh, wow.
So he went to school for a while until finally one of the teachers called me and said, "Miss Cooper, the donkey is here, and you need to come and get her because she's chewing up the children's papers in the classes."
Oh, cute. That's cute.
So anyway, but we finally got rid of him, and his first month's milk bill was more than I paid for him. By the way, in our house, Islam Manzil, or Dalji Manzil, the house, we had water delivered to us by water trucks. They put it on top of the house. There's a big tank up there.
Mhm.
There's no heating system. The
Mhm.
water falls by gravitation to your faucets. So we did have warm water, even for a shower.
Mhm.
But Charles Nelson, my missionaries, would always come on their bicycles to our house to take a bath and a shower
Oh.
because they didn't have any hot water.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And the British people and a lot of the other foreign Europeans lived in one area of Karachi, and we lived in this area.
Mhm.
And at the embassy, coffees and parties, which we had something all we had 16 invitations one Christmas.
Oh, wow.
Meet all the parties. And some of the Muslims who are not supposed to have whiskey or
Mhm.
drink would say, "I'm not going there unless they have some vodka." What do they call it? Beachy water, pure water. They call it. They had a water name for it.
Uh-huh.
So I got to meet all the dignitaries and just
Exciting.
anybody who was worth seeing. In fact, we couldn't associate with anybody less than our rank.
Mhm.
But we did with our American co-parts because we were all a family.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, from American Embassy, we went to Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, Goldsboro, North Carolina, and we had a wonderful time there too. Bill was he was supply. He was in supply.
Mhm.
So we had lots of friends there. We had lots of parties, and Mary Lou, being so experienced world traveler,
Mhm.
got hooked into. See that blue book on the back of that chair?
Yes.
There's not a Lady Seymour magazine that there isn't something in there about Mary Lou Cooper did this, or Mary Lou Cooper
No.
said, or Mary Lou's president this, or Mary Lou.
Oh, my. High society.
Well, they worked me to death.
Sounds like it.
And at this time also, Bill or Patty or Ron wanted a dog. Well, in Washington, D.C. were lots of our Karachi friends.
Mm.
There was one couple there that we did go up to see. He raised Afghan hounds.
Mm.
They're pretty,
Oh, yeah, those are
but they're
gorgeous.
stupid.
Yeah. Yeah,
You can't teach them anything.
right.
You have to know how they think.
Yeah.
So anyway, we finally ended up buying Alibaba. He was black and tan.
Mm.
He was sort of a dumb dog, but he
Mhm.
was lovable.
Mhm.
we went from the Presidio back down to Goldsboro with Alibaba, and there were friends of our friends in where am I? Friends in at the Pentagon, Chief of Staff,
Mhm.
and this friend was stationed at Goldsboro.
Mhm.
So the two of them, we all got together,
Mhm.
and Alibaba was supposed to be Patty's dog.
Uh-huh.
He would bite if you didn't hang on to him when he came in the house. He was naughty.
Mhm.
Ron wanted one. So from this couple who lived in Goldsboro, we bought Alibaba.
Uh-huh.
And he was a lovable little clunk.
Mhm.
And I stupidly took him to dog shows.
Mhm.
Oh,
He wouldn't take a candle, couldn't win a candle, but I thought I could.
Yeah.
So I did it for the experience too.
Wow.
Did anyway. I showed dogs.
Mhm.
So then we retired in '63.
63, and you were in Goldsboro
We were
at that
at the
time.
Joint Chiefs of Staff
Uh-huh,
in the Pentagon.
uh-huh.
We were in the Pentagon. I might have had this. No,
How's
there's-
this paper
no,
done?
no.
Is this in,
Well, she's trying to read it, so I didn't
Oh.
want to try to.
well, I like to
That's
see her
all right.
pretty face instead of
I
piece
know,
of paper.
I know.
We went
okay.
from Seymour Johnson to
Oh.
the Pentagon Joint Chiefs of Staff. That was from 61 to 63, and that's where he retired.
Okay,
At Bowling Air Force Base
Uh-huh.
in D.C. There he had an interesting place. Almost every day they would have, there are 3 Pentagons
Okay.
around Washington.
uh-huh. I didn't know that, but
You probably know it.
it's scattered all over the place.
One is in the mountains,
Mhm.
one's in the air, and one's at sea.
Oh,
So if this one gets knocked out,
oh, backup systems.
backup systems.
Uh-huh.
So Bill was the one with air.
Oh, I see.
So, anyway, that was the big thing that we did there,
Mhm.
and get Alibaba.
Mhm.
And we had a lot of friends there that we were with around the world.
Mhm.
I even had my Indian importers come to see me, and I had my Lebanese people come and see me.
Wow.
So I had a lot of company too. Finally, I went to work at retail at Heck Company just to get away from the
Yeah.
entertaining.
Yeah, yeah. Imagine, that would be a lot.
Then everybody said to me, Mary Lou, you've lost your prestige. So from the Pentagon, we had lived at Goldsboro at Seymour Johnson before we went to the Pentagon and came back to Goldsboro, and he retired. No, after he retired.
Mhm.
He tried to get a job selling real estate. He didn't like that. He said, he went to the door to ask somebody if he could sell him some estate, not in those words, but the salesman pitch.
Uh-huh.
And they said they weren't interested. Wouldn't even let him in the door.
Mhm.
He said, that cooked me.
Yeah,
He said, I don't want to sell real estate.
yeah.
So then he went to work for somebody else. He didn't like that either. Then he and another retiree, Colonel and Betty Claude Irby, from the state of Virginia, retired in Goldsboro.
Mhm.
They all liked to work outside. Cooper liked working outside.
Mhm.
So they decided they would open the Ponderosa Nursery, a big azalea farm.
Oh.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
they did, and every weekend, after I got the dishes done and something cooked,
Mhm.
I would go to the Ponderosa Nursery, about 12 miles down the way,
Mhm.
Oh, nice.
and help set plans,
Oh.
water, change, move, whatever they wanted me to do.
Mhm.
So I worked out there as helper for quite some time,
Wow.
and so did Ron. And I don't remember Patty going out, but she would come out.
Mhm.
But all our friends in Goldsboro would come now and bring their lunch, a picnic lunch, their drinks,
Mhm.
and just sit at the Ponderosa Nursery and watch us work.
Funny.
We'd have a picnic.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom, there you go. There's a job for retirement.
Yeah, there you
We'll come
go.
to your nursery.
But then,
That's cute.
I think Colonel Irby died before Bill did.
Mhm.
Maybe it was the other way around. Bill died before Claude did. Bill died in '74.
Mhm.
I can't remember when Claude died. But anyway, they both ended up dying, and the Ponderosa was sold.
Mhm.
And we had a partner who was a representative of the people in Raleigh,
Mhm.
and he helped with a lot of the paperwork with me.
Mhm.
And then I decided I'd take a job. Kids were in school. Ron was in college. No, Patty didn't like to go to school. She was in. I think she just went to school, beauty school. She wanted a hairdresser. She liked beautiful things. You know,
Mhm.
beautiful hair, beautiful clothes, beautiful da da da, which
Mhm.
like broke me financially.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
her friends were all money people.
Mhm.
So they went to another town shopping. She had to have some money to go shopping.
Mhm.
Well, she liked broke me, but I survived.
Mhm.
So then I was in Sally's Bridal and Formal Shop there in Goldsboro,
Mhm.
looking for a dress for something or looking for something. And I turned around to Sally, who owned it. I said, you look like you need some help here. She said, well, come here and fill out an application. I said, what?
Mhm.
So I did, and I got a job.
Mhm.
So I dressed brides
Wow.
and directed weddings.
Wow.
Still in charge of parties.
Did
Still
what?
partying. Still in charge of parties.
I had a hard time accepting brockless wedding gowns. strapless wedding,
Strapless, uh-huh.
not braless. Okay, I can do that. So anyway, after that, then Sears Roebuck was opening in '68,
Mhm.
and the lady who did the hiring came into Sally and said, "Mary, I want to talk to you about something. Can I have a meeting with you sometime somewhere?"
Mhm.
I said, "Sure." Being Sears, I kind of knew what was going to happen and
Mhm.
what would I do. But she said, "I want you to come and get an interview at Sears,
Mhm.
and we'll go from there."
Mhm.
I got the job just like that,
Mhm.
in jewelry, cosmetics, managing.
Oh, wow.
Then they needed some help for the pocketbooks and accessories department. They
Mhm.
had hooked that department up to me.
Mhm.
Then they lost somebody in the appliance shop, and they wanted me to come back there and help sell appliances. I said, "Lord, I'm not an electrician, I'm not a plumber, I'm not a contractor, I'm
Mhm.
not a truck driver. Me do that?"
Yeah.
She said, "There'll be somebody there to teach you. I got on commission."
Mhm.
Yeah, there was just straight salary.
Mhm.
So I took the job, and that's where I retired from.
Okay.
I sold all those big appliances.
Wow, I'll be darned. Little on you.
But fine, they changed computers on me,
Mhm.
or cash registers on me about 4 times,
Mhm.
and I got tired of learning the computer.
Mhm.
And one young snapper young man that used to work over there in that department, or around the store somewhere,
Mhm.
they needed a new manager for the cold, for
Freezer.
yeah, hard lines.
Mm.
Soft lines is closed.
Goldsboro to here on Whidbey Island.
Well, I was a widow,
Mhm.
and my children were in Asheville, North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
I was by myself in Goldsboro.
Uh-huh.
Had a lot of friends, but no family.
Mhm.
And my Ron was concerned about me. He was always my little sweetheart.
Mhm.
As a young person growing up, he never sat at the table until he seated me in a chair.
Oh, uh-huh.
A little
How
gentleman.
cute.
And he said, "Well, Mother, let's go on to Oak Harbor. Let me move to Oak Harbor and let me and Lee take care of you. She's a nurse, and I got a good job selling helicopters with Italian company Augusto.
Augusto.
At
Uh-huh.
one time, he's now with March Douglas.
Uh-huh.
But he said, there's a nice retirement home there, and nice village. Come out and take a look."
Mhm.
So I went out in '03 and visited them
Mhm.
and saw Beulah's house.
Mhm.
And then Ron asked me if I didn't want to move out here. I had all the gratuities and
Uh-huh.
the points of yard care and all
Right.
that sort of thing. And I really didn't have any choice. It was either go to a nursing home by
Oh,
myself,
yeah, that would be fun.
and my granddaughter, I would love to go there and be with them, and that's
Mhm.
where my heart is today.
Mhm.
But
In Goldsboro.
Asheville,
In Asheville, okay.
in Asheville.
Mhm.
But she had a little house. And at
Mhm.
one time I thought about going and building on an extension in the back, but they got a swimming pool back there. And then I thought, well, that's improving his property,
Mhm.
and which I don't really object to,
Mhm.
but nothing for me,
Yeah,
but a place to stay.
right.
But it couldn't be handled anyway,
Yeah.
because my granddaughter works and he works, and
Yeah.
the children were small, going to school, needed lots of
Mhm.
transportation. I didn't know way where.
Mhm.
So Ron says, "Mother, come on up here with me. We'll look for it. We'll take care of
Mhm.
you." I said, "Well, what about the end?" He said, "Well, I'll bring you back to Raleigh, Durham, and put you there with my father in a box." I said, "If that's what you're going to do, I'm not going."
Yeah.
He still threatens me with that. I got some saved, but not
Yeah.
enough, because it cost me $7,000 to move
Yeah.
Mother from Goldsboro, North Carolina,
Wow.
through Wichita to Nest City, Kansas.
Yeah. Wow.
But anyway, where did I leave off?
Well, how you got out here to Oak Harbor, so that's how you got out here to Oak Harbor.
Anyway, Ron and Lee and Beulah came to visit me once, and somewhere between '05 and 2001 or 2,
Mhm.
and saw where I lived and what I had,
Mhm.
and we talked about moving,
Mhm.
and it was incomprehensible to
Yeah,
me.
I can see.
It
I
was
can
impossible.
You had
Yeah.
a big, beautiful brick home back there, and a lot of memories
A
were
lot of memories.
centered around that home. And to give all that up and to come on the other side of America
And all my things.
and shrink down all of your stuff.
I asked Ron if he wanted to take my big portraits up there.
Uh-huh.
His mother, I don't have a mansion. They go in a mansion. What am I going to do with them? Of course, it's mostly Lee. If the wife of the man is happy in the home, and
Yeah.
she does runs what she can run,
Right.
which is mostly Ron in the house and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the wife is happy.
Right.
But anyway, really didn't have much of a choice. So then I had 2 weeks left to sell my house,
Mm-hmm.
and the woman wanted it, and her son calls her a professional house shopper
Mm-hmm.
because she's looked all over something to buy, something she can make money on,
Mm-hmm.
and I had 2 weeks to do it. I said, do it.
Mm-hmm.
So Ron came back and helped me get packed,
Mm-hmm.
and well, he didn't come and help me for the 3-yard sales or selling things in the
Mhm.
house or off of the floor or off the
That's
table
a
or
lot of
off of the
work.
closets or drawers. And
A lot of work.
oh, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I brought more than I should have. You haven't seen the garage.
Mm-hmm.
So
Speaking of which, this might be a good segue to go and show our viewers what is in the McCubbin room.
oh, all right.
So,
I know y'all are watching the time.
Yep. Yep.
So I think we pretty well.
Yeah, we covered a lot, but
No, I have wedding pictures you can have. I have Brandon Fairways pictures you can have, or take with if you want, or,
Yeah.
or take with.
Yeah.
And now Mother is. You want anything about Mother? Now she's buried at Ransom, Kansas, which is Nest City, Kansas, about 12 miles from Nest
Okay.
City, Kansas. We were all born, and she lived there at Nest City,
Uh-huh.
Kansas.
uh-huh.
But a little road down the little cemetery, Prairie Cemetery,
Uh-huh.
very well kept, in Ransom, Kansas.
Uh-huh.
Sister Nell has 35 or 42 lots there
Wow.
in that prairie
Are
prairie
there still
cemetery.
some up for grabs?
Oh yeah, plenty
Oh.
of them.
Hey, there we go.
There's some
Let's
around
just
there.
put the rest of us right there. What do you
Yeah,
say?
There's property owners,
But-
property management.
Mother is buried there, and it was really a job getting her there because we had the worst blizzard we'd ever had in January.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
And I had to go through
Oh.
Wichita, and I had to go
Wow.
through the warehouse, and the warehouse closed at 5 o'clock. We didn't get there till 5:30.
Wow.
They stayed open for us and transferred us to the car or truck from Nest City, Kansas, who had to come 100 miles
Uh-huh.
to pick up Mother
Wow.
and go back to Nest City.
Oh,
We
boy.
got back there in the evening, and I mean the whole family was in this hotel, Derrick Hotel,
Yeah.
buying and eating and drinking.
Wow. Unbelievable.
But I paid for all of it.
Well, she's a sweetie, isn't she?
Yeah. Okay, let's go into the McCubbin archives here.
Hey, what
okay.
time do you all want to get away here?
Catch you. Just stop.